late. It's 11:18 and probably nobody's on or around. And that's okay. I just, with everything that's happened in the past couple days, my insomnia is kind of kicking my butt. So I just thought, oh, I'll pop up. Oops. Uh, um, so, um, so I just thought, I got this special box, I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago, and I've been meaning to do an unboxing video, and my hip flared, and there's been other things going on, so I just, kept kicking the can down the road. Oh, evening, Mary. I didn't think anybody would be up. Thank you for joining. So, since I had a lot on my mind, and I thought I would start with the unboxing and see where we go. And the thing is this friend that sent this to me, like, blew my mind, because it was supposed to be, a destashed piece of blue fabric, because she went in a group, says, does anybody want these bits and bobs? Hi, KD, how you doing tonight? Thank you for joining me. I didn't think anybody would be on late. And then I get this box. You saw it on the picture. It's too big for my table. Oh, well, there we go. It's kind of too big for the table, but this big box arrived. And I was just blown away and am so blessed and excited. And I just want to thank her. She's been a really, really good friend. And, so that's, and I didn't want to put everything away, so I've been tripping over this box until I kind of shared with everybody. Here's a nice little easy pattern. I may have to shift this up a little bit. I'm still learning my equipment and stuff. I had this all set and it fell. A nice little pattern, nice little box with just some bits and bobs of fabric. And look at this. Nice spool of Orfil thread. That's the bomb. I love Orfil thread. Some little needles. This great pair of tweezers. In fact, I think I'm going to open this and put it in my new cup if I can get it out. But these are nice. Look at these things. You poke somebody's eye out. Wow. These are almost dangerous. Tooltron. Oh, those are really cool. I hadn't opened them. I just looked at them. But see this? Look at, I'm going to interrupt. Check out this cool cup I got at, I guess I should turn this down because it's glaring really bad. Nope, that didn't work. Anyway, this cool cup. Hey, Mitzi, welcome. This cool cup I found at my friend's. She has a very small vendor mall, and I stopped to check on her and see. She has a puppy. I call her Rat Dog. Anyway, it doesn't have a handle, even though it says you can microwave it. But I thought, well, I love gnomes, and I can put some things that are on my table in it. So anyway, and then this cool little fun tape measure, and this box will take a little bit. Oh, hi Katie, did I say hello? It's a little late for me, but and the first thing I saw when I opened it was this amazing Riley Blake layer cake. So I'm dreaming about what I'm going to do with that, but it has all kinds of fun things, including some sewing fabrics, with scissors and, pin cushions and different things. This was blew me away. And that's just the first thing I saw, and then there was a little box, and then there's a nice little bag that I can use for some different things. And a wonderful card, that I really, really appreciate. And just, it was unexpected, and I'm very, very grateful and thankful. And then something, my sister had to bring it in the house because it was too heavy for me. Oh, thank you, Mary. It is pretty. It's called Create. Let's Create. And I'm still pondering what to make with it, but I was so excited. I think out of pre-cuts we have fat quarters and then those. But look at this chunky bag of, just bits and bobs of fabric. And I hope you don't mind me meandering tonight a little bit with this. But I didn't open it up. It's like a nice scrap goodie bag because I wanted to just, I kind of looked through it, but I wanted to share. But, oh, my sister brought it in the house. And then she's like, oh, open it. What do you got? I did that. And hopefully my lighting's okay and you can hear me. But look at these beautiful, scrap pieces. There's so much that can be done with this. Even these that, oh, there's a little orphan square, orphan block. Oh, some more kitty fabric. Now this kitty fabric just tickles me. And I got another piece of it, but this kitty here, he cracks me up. Look, tabby tan. And I feel kind of like that's me lately. I just got knocked out by life. I'm going to go ahead and trim some of these threads because they're bugging me. And I'll probably throw them on the floor and then pick them up later. But yeah. This is perfect for, fussy cutting some scenes from it. And like I said, you'll see in a minute that I have another piece. But for cat fabric, it rocks. So let's go explore. And then, but people don't realize what you can do with even small scraps. Now this reminds me of like a 30s print. How is everybody doing tonight? Are you having a good weekend? These 30s, I think this is like 30s, I don't know, are just beautiful. I think she said some of this she picked up at her quilt guild. It was kind of on the table, but look at these scarecrows, some gray. Oh, this is kind of different. But you see, there's plenty there. You can put that on a bowl koozie or something like. And look, I still haven't even put a dent in this bag. I don't think I'll get it back in the bag. Kitties, yes, Mary. I'm more a dog fabric collector, but I do have a stack of cat fabric, and those are fun. Look at this batik. Isn't that amazing? It's just beautiful. Got my brain going. And I don't know that I deserve this, but it's a blessing and it's fun. Look at this. Oops, I hit something. Look at this dinosaur. That's pretty cool. I bet you that's about 5 inches. Where are you? Anyway, I think that's probably about 5 inches. So that's perfect. You know what you can do with a 5-inch block, and of course, never mind, I can't find any of my rulers. Yep, that's 6 inches by 6 inches. That's good. You go in there where you want. Polka dots. Hi, Lynn. How are you tonight? How's everybody tonight? If I'm going too slow or boring you, let me know, because, oh, pretty green. This black, I don't know if you can see it. It kind of looks like a leopard black. Ooh, look at this. I could make a pouch out of that or something. More gray. There's lots of this kind of grayish fabric. And that's good because I don't use a ton of solids, so I've been building them up because I found that I need... Oh boy, wait till you see this. Let me get rid of some of this. I should have my little scissors, but I think they're buried. Let me get rid of some of these, like, out of control strands. Hey Mitzi, I got this box from a good friend, and it was supposed to be like a piece of blue fabric, and it arrived about 3 weeks or so ago, and I wanted to do an unboxing, and it's been sitting here waiting to go through it, because I wanted to share it, because it was way more than I expected, and tonight my insomnia is kicking my butt, and what really happened the last couple of days. So, I thought I'd do something fun. And I got, this is just part of the box. And there under here is this, wait till you see this. Hey Cheryl, look at this beautiful layer cake. Oops. It's called Create by Riley Blake. I will get it right side up one way or another. But it has like scissors and flowers, and it has these cool three designs that have like pin cushions and sewing machines. That's the first thing I saw when I opened the box, and I was like blown away. And I like me layer cakes. So anyway, I just thought, and I didn't know if anybody'd be up at this hour, but I thought, well, I'll just do it this way because I wanted some company. But look at these koala bears. Oops, I got everything upside down tonight. But look at these koala bears. I'm glad y'all joined me. Hi, Lynn. Cheryl's in the house. But aren't those cool? I mean, we can we can do some cutting, and that's a good little block with a koala bear. Not sure what the tape is doing on here. But that's alright. Little bits and bobs. And oh, look at this. This is a nice big piece. It's a nice neutral with some pretty flowers. Don't think that I don't think that I don't remember. And then there's this black, a nice piece of I think this is black and not brown, but it's a nice piece. Oh, look at this. That could mess with your head. That's pretty. That's a good sized piece. But I've been wanting to go through this and see what was all, but I wanted to share it with my peeps. And hey Shore, how you doing tonight? How everybody doing? And then get it put away. But look at this. That's a nice size. I mean, these aren't all these aren't all what I would consider scraps. But what a blessing. You know, I see the box and I just think what a blessing. I mean, look at this. This is, I don't know. It reminds me of a 30s print, but it's a good chunk. Yeah, that would make a good jar opener. And they don't take much. I mean, look at this. This beautiful butterfly fabric. 100% cotton. Oh, and this is a moda. Wow. I like this. You know, I have some black with some, like, bright butterflies on it that I got because it was on the clearance. But I really like this kind of neutral fall. But yes, that's a perfect idea, Lynn. Thank you, Cheryl. Yeah, this was a total surprise. I was expecting like a piece of blue, which is in the bottom of the box, and look at all this goodness. I mean, look, here's another one that goes with the same line, and this is just as beautiful with the rust color. Oh my goodness, I could just sit here. We'll just sit here and pet fabric and draw. I may have to move this stack over out of the way a little bit. I bet if I put it under here, the dog will come and want to lay on it, but we're going to try. And this was all in this gallon bag. Somebody was talented and got it in this 2-gallon bag. So here's another piece and another beautiful piece of batik. I like some batiks. I like how they're made. The brown circle fabric. I agree, I think so. Oh, and this is a nice neutral. See, I'll use solids, but I like something like this as a blender. A white on white, cream on cream, or a linen look. Something with just a little bit of texture. Okay, so this one then. That would make a good, don't know if it's brown, but that would make good jar openers, kind of like a little modern look for your kitchen. So that's that bag, and then we dig into this box again, because there's another gallon bag, little 2-gallon bag here. Yeah, I do a lot of the, I guess they call it like grunge, where it has like 2 colors in it. I will use white, a solid. I have some over there. I just, with my personality or whatever, and everybody has different tastes. Oh, here's a cool little rotary cutter. It's a 28 millimeter. That'll come in handy for some small projects. I have one, but I don't have any blades. Oh, look. This is pretty cool. It's horses and plaid. That's kind of unique. Oh, a nice little fat quarter. I think it's a fat quarter of yellow gingham. Let me see if I can turn this other light on and get rid of the glare a little bit. I can't. Maybe I can move this light or something. No, it's not cooperating. Because I'm at the desk with my nice chair that my sister got me, and well, we've kind of gone together at the vendor place and gotten this like tractor type seat, and we didn't realize they hadn't put one of the screws in the seat, and so one day I was just kind of leaning this way and the seat cracked and I tipped over, and the base is good, but then she found this chair, and this is actually so comfortable. Let me see if that's better. I'll turn it. Is that better? Because it looked like I had an awful glare. So I just put the chicken light on. And I have that when I need to see clear, I have a chicken light, a light we use for the chickens. Ooh, look at this purple. Now I gotta find my center again because I kind of turned this. Look at this purple. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, and we've got some rodeo people. Kind of like life lately. I'm glad that some people joined me. I just thought I'd be kind of talking to myself, which I guess I do a lot of talking to myself, so it's not too bad. Let's see what else we got. We got some dots. That's a nice piece of dot. Oh, we got more kitties. The purple, yes, that's pretty. You know, it's not. I know that people probably wouldn't think it was typical of me, but I really like that. That's going to be fun to use for something special. We got some, oh, these are Christmas kitties. Look at these Christmas kitties. They look like they've been in some trouble. But it's nice that to have people join me. And I'm sorry that it took so long. Look at this. Wow. This is a unique. I like this. I mean, it's just different. See if I can get it so it's right side up. Look at this. And the Santas, I don't know if you can see it, but they have gold here, accents around the Santas and the presents. I'm not a big Santa fabric person because of the look, but I like this. But my sister is Deb, my chosen sister. Thank you, Janice. Um, Cheryl, I talk to myself a lot because I get expert advice. My problem is when I have a board meeting in my head and we start arguing and can't come to an agreement. But I appreciate that, Janice, because it's just been, you know, a couple hard days. You know, there's always a cost when you open yourself up. And for a long time, I didn't feel like I had a voice. My childhood, you know, that was what my childhood was. My voice was stolen, and I was very, very stoic. And I held things close to the vest, and then finally God got me to a place in May of 2019 where he knocked some bricks out of that. And then in 22, my sister tipped the scale with her covert narcissism. And then 23 was another big one, realizing that my other 3 siblings were just as toxic. And then this year, it was kind of like, man, I'm getting old, and this is my story. You know, I didn't choose, you know, I didn't have a consult in this. I didn't have a consult in, oh, do you want a rare personality? Do you want a near photographic memory? Do you want, you know, all these things? But it was my story, and finally, I think about 6 months ago, it's like, you know, I'm done with regrets, you know, and you know, God has taken me through so much, and so it's like, okay, I'm gonna, you know, figure this out. But in that, you know, I've always known that I'm a kind of a, oh, hi, Rhonda. It's nice to see you. Welcome. How you doing? Nancy? We're just getting a little party started in the middle of the night. You know, when you go from, I was born with my personality very stoic. You know, one of the weaknesses of a personality that's only 2% of the population and only 38% of women have that personality is that one of the weaknesses that I warred against until about 3 years ago when I realized they weren't really weaknesses, they made my personality work, was social skills and processing and expressing emotion. And neither of those were parented. Neither of those were helped. You know, I basically had to parent myself, and I had to parent my parents in a way. It's called parentification. And I survived, and so then you go from there, and sometimes you go to the other extreme, and you overshare, or you don't catch clues or whatever, subtle clues or whatever. And if you're like me, you're working hard to catch up and find that middle place. And I think I'm finally starting to find that middle place. I'm just me. Look at this. Is this not cool? I like this. Look at the little animals. The rabbits and the deer. But I also know that that when you start really opening up in a situation, in a forum like this or whatever, you're vulnerable. And if somebody has their own issues or wounding or whatever, and they're running from it, and they're looking for a target, you may be it. I mean, I was my mother's second scapegoat. My father was her first, and then my sister took her place. So, ooh, this is a nice stripe. Wow, we just kind of got like bright, and these are good sized pieces. Wow, this is just so incredible. And like I knew on Tuesday, I think it was Wednesday, Thank you, Shirley. Yeah, that snowman is. They are cute, aren't they, Nancy and Mary? They're pretty. Rhonda, I'm glad you joined us. I hope you're doing well. But I realized, on Wednesday when I was doing my live and I was trying to finish up the jar gripper because I was ready to rest before I went out. And I realized that when I felt like I needed to share some things about my perspective of religion versus relationship and who I am, you have in the back of your mind, do I not do this out of fear that I'm going to offend people and that people are going to just leave? Or am I going to be authentic and follow the nudge that God's giving me and trust that whatever fallout happens, as well as the good stuff, you've done what He's asked you to do? And fear is a big, big thing, and I think it keeps us most of the time held back. Oh, that's a good, yes, this would be perfect for binding. Thank you, Lynn. Yeah, I'm going to have to think about what to put that on. Cheryl, the snowman fabric, and I was just looking at the salvage, and it says Susan Wingate. And I like her style on a lot of things. Now, there are a few things, like the lady at Joanne said, she usually does premium fabrics for them, and she does for other, I think, quilt shops too. But like this is Wilmington Prints, but she does have some in the premium section or the Christmas section. She does some that are similar. They're like maybe a barn with, in the fall or at Christmas, and you have to really look at it to see the differences. But then she does some wildly different ones. She made this really cool one, and it's a dachshund with a gnome writing on it at Christmas. It's really cool. Then there's this really nice kind of floppy cardigan that was in the box, and the house gets cold. Well, as you can see, it dropped to 42. It was 75 today, and in the 60s last night, and then it was like 80 the day before, and now we're in 42, so you can see I'm all bundled up, so I think I can bundle up in that. Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate the encouragement. Thank you, Cheryl. Yeah, it's been painful because I've learned in my 49 years of walking with the Lord that when you start talking and opening up about Him and what He's doing, there's usually going to be some backlash because there is an enemy and he's very real. And he'll get himself upset. But when it comes from unexpectedly from a friend, and they already know that you've gone through a ton of injustice, and instead of privately they want to play the martyr or whatever, and it was unnecessary. It's hard when you care about somebody, and that's how it happens. But anyway, and then look, I've been wanting to try one of these spray bottles because I've heard the mechanism is real good, and I think this would be real cool. And I'm thinking about, I have this, well, I have some others, but look, I have this Doxy barbecue. I have this cool Doxy sticker I got free at the store. And I think I may trim off the barbecue. I have a bigger one too. I may need this one. I may trim off the barbecue at the top. Put him on here, and then I can keep calm and quilt on. I have a couple cheap ones of these I got at Walmart, but one of them, the top fell off, and it works, but, so I'm pretty excited to try that, and like I said, I'll probably put a sticker on the front, some kind of cool sticker, because that's just what happens. And, he will, Nancy. Hey, William, you still up? Did you get anything done? Hi, Jennifer. Oh, Jennifer, have you had this cold or something that's going around that lingers? It's pretty bad because it just kind of hangs on, and I don't know if it's allergies this year. But welcome, William. I'm glad you joined us. Hi, Michelle. Oh boy, we're having a little party, and I don't think I've had this many people in here. And then here is the original blue fabric that I thought I would get a piece of, and this is really cool because it can be used for binding, it can be used as a blender, it can be used for my bowl koozies. I mean, it also kind of has a sea life feel of look to it. So that's like, oh, and this is 108. Wow, I didn't realize it was 108. Ooh, we're gonna have a party. But see, now I'm at, and then tucked in the box, and I'm sure they're still sharp. This is going in a special place, and they'll be used. This is a pair of Ginger scissors, 8-inch knife edge, and the note says that they've had them for over 30 years and never used them. So they're an old school pair, and I know that Ginger warranties their scissors for life, and if I need to, I actually have a knife sharpening guy up in Burgaw. You know, one of the backwoods boys at the feed store, he has a whole good setup. But you can actually send them to Ginger and they'll sharpen them free. And she said, I can't think of a better person to give them to. And that slayed me because it was like so cool. And I love how Ginger puts the little cover in there. And these are great for when you have thicker stuff. And I think, oh, I found the bottom of the box. But wait. Let me stuff some of this back in this box. But now I can put it away and explore more. And, but yeah, I just, I grew up with what I call weaponized love. And you don't, in duty. And, it's like people really kind of want to listen to me. People think that I'm valuable, that I make a difference. All of those things sometimes are hard to swallow. I know it doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but I'm getting there. It just takes a long time to get down the onion. This just blows my mind. This is going to make something really special. But this box was just incredible, and I'm sorry to the sender for not getting to this sooner. I mean, where'd these, where'd they go? Gotta put them in this cup. And do you see this? This is this new gnome cup. I think it's supposed to be like a mug. I gotta work on the lighting because this was glaring. Will that balance it out? Maybe that balances that. And I just picked it up and I thought I'll put my bits and bobs in here. But it's, I may shift. Oh, here they are. Check out these tweezers again. I thought, oh cool, I can always use a good pair of tweezers. But those will poke your eye out. You'll shoot your eye out. I've only seen that movie in clips and pieces. But these are great because sometimes you need a really good pair. I have some, it was sent by a friend. They came up on on a group chat and said I have some, they put up 6 or 7 fabrics and they said anybody wants some. And I came in a little late to the game and I said, well, I'll take a piece of that blue if it's not spoken for. And so that's what I was thinking, was that blue backing. And what arrived just blew my mind. It was just really special. So then, this person's still destashing, put up some stuff. I'm going to do part 2 real quick because this one's small. And we kind of made a deal, but then they snuck some other things in the box. But like this ladybug fabric, which I think is adorable. I have to figure out what to do with it, but it's so cute. But she had some of this vintage New York fabric, and I'm like, well, nobody's gonna scream for it. I will. Oh, I love Miracle on 34th Street. And I got this pattern from her. I put it in this bag because I finally opened it up because I couldn't stand it to not look at the inside. But basically it's called Road Trip by Mystery Star, and it has all 50 states, but they're done with 10-inch squares. And when I saw it, I thought, I can, oh, wait a minute, got a scrap down here. I thought, ooh, 10-inch squares with the states, I can put some of those in the bottom of a rope bowl. I can put those on a mug rug. I can put those, there's so many things that this size can do by state. And it has all the templates. It has three packets of templates in here. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. I wish I could get some of this fabric that they use, but it's out of print. Because it's got hummingbirds, and I have a thing for hummingbirds. Hummingbirds, dragonflies, seahorses, turtles. But that was part of it. And then the other part, now what did I, put it down here, geez, I'm losing things, was I was interested in this vintage skyline fabric. And they are sure, aren't they? It was just fun. And I thought it was just a vintage New York skyline fabric until I opened it up in person and looked at it. It's Seattle. I'm guessing this is Chicago. Washington, D.C. Then you have the New York skyline with the Twin Towers, because this was done in 98. And then you have San Francisco. And so it's like a border strip with these city scenes. Now, I don't dig the glitter so much, but I got really excited about this because, it was worth getting. I'm surprised that nobody scooped it up because I thought it was just one skyline and that it would be cool, but those are all kind of famous, and it, like I said, it's from 98, so the skylines have changed somewhat. That's why I'm guessing that one is Chicago, that second one. And then there was the fabric. It was if you scoop up the skyline, you have to take the 3 that I have with it, and this is basically just has all the different big symbols of those cities. And then there's this funky Y2K fabric. Yes, that would be good. Oh, Jennifer has a huge love for hummingbirds. Maybe I should see what William could do with this fabric. Look at this. This is a Y2K fabric, and it's got some wild stuff. But look at these babies with their little butt cracks. I don't know what they're looking at, but that's funny. That's probably the funniest part of this. I mean, these guys are crawling. Remind me of, every parent's dream is to put their baby on a bed naked, you know, on their back or whatever, and take a picture so they can humiliate them with it later. But um, but there's some nice like state world map here, um, astronaut cyberspace, space shuttle, because it has all the things like cyberspace technology, sustainable living, millennium, baseball. So it's an interesting piece of fabric, and you know I'll work on it and come up with something. But also two other surprises because, well, anyway, which are an incredible blessing, which is a larger piece of these phenomenal cats, you know. And here's the whoop. I'm dropping things off the counter. Where is the cat? I know he's in the middle. My favorite cat right here. You know, Tabby Tan. He's just laid out in the sand. But I mean, these ladies have sass. You know, this is probably Lisa, Rhonda, and Miss Rita with their sass. And Miss Rita would be the ginger cat in the middle. Because they're so cool. Or over here with their little hats, you know. But yeah, little in the hat. So anyway, it's a cool, and it's nice to have a bigger piece of that. And then one more, and that's this wonderful penguin, snowman, polar bear, fun Christmas fabric. Now, last Thanksgiving, I was at my niece to help her with her daughter. She had gotten on supervised custody for the first time in 2 years, when she kind of took refuge at our house and blew everything up. But she was having her for the first time over a holiday and for multiple days in a row. And so I went and I picked one quilt shop, and I told her that if I could just, because I flew. Now this one I took in Labor Day, I drove for the first time in 25 years. I took a road trip and went to Chattanooga. And I picked one quilt shop. And I picked a very nice one, and it was small business Saturday, so they had everything on sale. The ladies were wonderful. And I had found some penguins in the clearance, and I had bought some, and then I got to using it, 2-3 weeks later, and I thought, well, I bet I could get some more and just have them shipped. Well, I got delayed in calling them for a couple of 3 days. Excuse me. And when I did get a hold of them, the lady says, oh, I'm really sorry, that's been sitting here for a year, and you were the first person that bought some, but somebody came in about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, and bought it all. And I thought, well, I shouldn't have gotten delayed for a couple of days. But then I get something similar with these here a year later, with these penguins and bears. And so I was pretty excited. I think it's pretty cool, and I may use this for part of a Christmas table runner. But there's a lot of things, because I make these French braid. Oops, crazy brain, penguins. Well, I think there are polar bears, snowmen, and penguins. Yes, Joel, they do look like they have attitude. Maybe William can make cat, and then he could have catitude. William with catitude. Oh, Mary and KD said that. That's a great idea, Mitzi. And so that's that box. But now that I have William on, I want to show him. I'm going to drag it in here, so give me a minute. I want to show him this purple fabric. Because if I could get it to him, or a chunk of it to him, I would love to see what he would come up with. But you'll have to give me a one-legged minute, because I didn't know that he'd be on. A little chunky, I don't know that I have where it cut off. But it came from a movie set. I saw it on stranger danger. But this actually, this purple stuff came from the movie theaters. Wilmington used to be a big film and TV show producer, and then we got some of that weirdness going on in politics, and it's not quit, but it's shifted a little. I think Atlanta is doing a lot of what we used to do, but it had a tag on it for a movie, so I imagine they bought this roll, used one piece, but I got, alright, I dragged it in here because I don't have a piece. I probably should have just cut off a piece, but it's a good size roll. But look at this one. And I still haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do with it. I mean, I did cut off a small piece to play with, and then I don't know where it is, but I mean, this is a roll still. Yeah. And it was one of, I think, 6 rolls for $10, because he says, oh, if you're going to take the purple, you got to take them all. Okay. But I imagine, William, you could do something with that. Whew, I'm out of breath now. Dragging this fabric down the hall. It's the Design X group. It's out of New Jersey. Design Text. Blumenthal, Exit, DT Hospitality, Steel Castle Textiles, Yives, Nani. Oh, it says lay flat. Do not put on end. Whoops. It's purple. Your favorite, Lynn, is polar bears. Cheryl, you know what? You're okay. Yes, it's purple. But see, on the inside, it looks, quit fighting with my crutches, you goofy thing. On the inside it's got the solid squares with the black. And I don't know what you call this kind of fabric. And on the outside, it has the black dots with the purple around it. I imagine maybe this is the back side, but both sides, I think, could be used for something. And I think when I saw it, I was thinking about just making a simple, like, throw rug with it because of the thickness. But then I saw William with something like this and made something that looked similar to this recently with colors, and I thought of him. Because look at this roll. I mean, there's quite a bit on here, and this is, so that's that, and it's a good size roll of fabric. Yeah, I thought it was either very similar or the same. When you made a suit or something out of it. But yeah, I think when I saw it on the marketplace a couple years ago, I thought, ooh, I'll grab that and maybe make, dining room chairs, maybe curtains. Yeah, it probably is. I could whip out a measuring tape. But that is, those are good ideas. I just thought for the price, I would cut some and serge an edge on it and maybe make a couple throw rugs for a couple different places in the house. And it was more than I bargained for. There's some vintage white fabric with the kind of embroidery on it that came with it. And it's the same size. It's a long roll. But it was kind of cray-cray, because it's like, if you're going to do one, you're going to take them all. And I'm like, what am I going to do with all these? And as it was, I've used this for a little rug, but other than that, I kind of stalled out. Yep, it's 58 inches, I think. So, yeah, it's a good size. But it's interesting, once I got there and was looking at it and saw the tags and stuff, I figured, oh, they bought this fabric for a movie, used some of it for a motorcycle seat cover or something like that, and then it's been sitting. So, oh, thank you. Well, I put the chicken light on, and I'll tell you, I call it a chicken light because it's an aluminum hood with a big old light bulb in it, and we either put one of those white lights or we put a heat lamp in it and clip it in the chicken coop. But sometimes you get shadows on my cutting area. So, and this lamp is just a piece of $5 yard sale, but it works, but it throws shadows. So I didn't want to get another lamp, so I just swiped. We've got plenty of chicken lamps, so I swiped it and clipped it to the curtain rod, and I just plug it in when I need it and unplug it when I don't. But yeah, there's all kinds of fun stuff in this house. There's some other tweed over there that I've been knocking around on the bin. And I know that's tweed that I've been knocking around on the bin that was kind of the same deal. About 2.5 years ago, there's fabric on Marketplace, and it was like 45 minutes away. But there's a great donut shop in that area. It's called Surf City. Beautiful beach. Great donuts. They make them fresh and hot when you walk in and order. So I told the lady what I wanted specifically, and it, I take it off her hands. It was a good deal, and I got there, and I said, well, where's she brought out 2 or 3 pink pieces of, and I said, well, where's this fabric? I said, that's the one I came for. Oh, I sold it to somebody else. And so, I didn't really pay much, but I ended up with something else, so. Well, thank you, Mitzi. Like I said, my insomnia is kicking my butt, so I thought, well, now I can put that box away. I have another one to go through. Let me see, where'd I put it? I have another one for my friend Susan. She sent me a little over a month ago. She was going to yard sales, and she asked me if I wanted certain things from her yard sales, and I'm like, well, she was going to one yard sale. There was about an hour away on Facebook, she found an estate sale, and she went there. Her hubby blessed her with a bunch of money and said, go have fun with your friends, and they were getting rid of all kinds of stuff. And the lady told her, if you come back in so many days, I'm going to knock it down another 25%. Night, Cheryl. Oh, I'm glad. You go sleep. I'll be bopping around somewhere tomorrow. Pop up. But no, if you can sleep, please go to sleep. And the lady said, well, I'll be knocking down the price, in a few days by 25%. And then after that, I'll go down on what's left, 25%. And, so she said, is there anything you're looking for? And I said, well, maybe this or this. And then she said the lady had a bunch of specialty rulers. And I said, ooh. I said, I don't have any of those. And I kind of got my designers mixed up a little bit. Martelli and, the people that make this. And then there's another company that sounds almost like it. So I was just expecting a couple things, and it's not as big, but I hadn't done the unboxing here. But she said, when she sent the box, she goes, oh, I just threw in a few things that I thought you might like. And I thought, ooh, fun. Oh, good night, Jennifer. I hope you have a really good night. Oh, I'm glad your cold meds are kicking in. I'll be praying that you feel better. Hugs. We'll see you soon, Jennifer. But if you want anybody that's hanging out, and the first thing I saw was, she said a few patterns. I mean, you know, and I may have to turn that light off so you could see. The first one I saw was these yo-yo accent fruit cocktail towels. And this was put out in 2011, I think. Somewhere, yeah, 2014. And they show you how to use your yo-yo to make these different fruits. And I found out that they made a heart-shaped yo-yo maker. And that's what they used, was the small one to make the strawberries. Well, I found one. Found a small and a large. So I can play. Because even if I don't put these on towels, I can play with that. And look, I mean, Debbie Mom, she's been gone for a while. She had a large impact, but look at these bears. These bears. And then here's a windmill. These table runners. You're very welcome, Jennifer. Ooh, Jennifer. These table runners. I mean, just lots of ideas. Here's one called Sky Dreams. Now, they've cut these out, and I tried to make plastic templates, so I'd have to see what's in here. But, oh, Debbie would love this. Look at this. With the pumpkins. She would love that. And I love this. I don't know if I can do it, but look at this. This is a hoot. With the owls. This is by somebody called Lavender Rabbit. It was written in 2005. Yeah, the owls are just fat eighths and scraps. Border and binding 1 yard, backing 1 yard, batting 36 by 36. 3 yards. The most thing you have in one thing is a fusible thread. But those are pretty cool. See, now all of these can be put away now. Indigo hearts. I don't know who so-and-so is. So-and-so, get out of my box in my house. Positive, negative heart wall hanging. Reminiscent of positive, negative applique patterns which has been adapted for piecing. A wall hanging can be done either a 12 block 3x4 or 20 block 4x5. The finished blocks will be approximately 4.5, and the finished quilts will measure approximately 13.5 by 18, 12 blocks, and 18 by 22.5 without borders. So it doesn't take much yardage. So that's interesting. I'm not sure that I would do them in those colors. This looks like a lot of fun. This is called Garden Jubilee, and it has all the pattern, all the template or applique pattern, but it's pretty. And I want to try and make one of these. This is the biscuit basket made with woven strips, woven fabric strips. And it starts off with 2.5 inch fabric strips, and it tells you how to weave them. Now she says line it with a napkin and fill them to the brim with your favorite biscuits, or on your desk for mail, store patterns, or tissue, or great as a Christmas card basket. Buy good quality cotton, does not have to be washed. Thank you, Lynn. The owls are cute. It is cute, isn't it? Yeah, this doesn't take much at all, but it's funny because somebody made this, and there's pencil here where it says 15, it says 14, and it changed the measurement. Instead of 14, 2.5, it's, and 15, 2.5, it's 14, 3 inch. And down here she highlighted this, and then she kind of changes 1.5 to 2 yards. 2009. So, and then I guess this is a quilting DVD collection about Inspire, design, and create. Inspiring ideas for creating um, Dutchman puzzle. See, I don't know. They put the sticker on here. Now I'm going to have to work to get it off without tearing up the... But that looks pretty cool, and it doesn't look hard either. This Quilt and Bond by 2014. Then look at this chicken fabric. And I like my chicken fabric, as long as it's not goofy or... But, isn't that pretty? This is an old Moda. Because, I mean, by Deb Strain, but I mean, look at the salvage. I think that's an older Moda with the salvage. And then this really nice chicken wire. It's kind of hard to find good chicken wire fabric. And then more chickens, which are primitive chickens. They're kind of cool. Here I go again with my threads. My hanging threads. Here's these chickens. So she put some nice pieces in here. Now, there's this really cute dog fabric. Got it upside down again. Has different breeds. I wish it had a doxy, but it has several different breeds, and it's kind of fun with them popping out. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it has doxies or maybe that's a doxy right there. I'll have to pull it out. This says Maker's Holiday Fabric. So that's an old Joann's design, but it's nice and soft. And then there's this whole pile of, look at this pile of Marty Mitchell templates. And there's some fun looking ones, but I don't know if the lady sold them or if the lady just never got them, because like this Storm at Sea Diamond template set, you have to have set B, set A, or sets B and D to do the different sizes, and there's none of those in this mix match of, see, there's set C. So there's none of the ones that go to make the different sizes diamonds for the C. So in order to use this, I would have to get a B, an A, and or a D set. So, but like there's this cool house one. This is a 45-degree diamond. With all those templates. This is the bonus set C, the 3-inch square bonus set. There's this really cool Grandmother's Flower Garden, Inner City, 1,000 Pyramids, 7 Sisters, and more. Hold on, I lost my chat. Yeah, Deb Strain is pretty cool. But, I mean, look at this. And it has the different, and most of these templates were never, oh, that's set G, then there's set C, which is the bonus set. Master templates for use with rotary cutting system. So I guess this is like a master set, and this is C. But I don't understand where, I mean, she had all these, and my understanding is they were half that price. And some of them she used, like the house, doesn't have the cover on it. But a lot of them still have the paper on it, so they were never used. But it stumps me that there was no B, A, or D for this one, because 4x8 is B, 3x6 is A, and 2x4 is B and D. So you could use B for these too. So I don't know. But that'll be fun. But like you can see from this one, the paper's still on it. So she never used the large Hexi Plus. I thought, this is Marty Mitchell. I thought she was talking about like Martelli. But that's alright, because they're very cool. And I'm going to play. And in the bottom of the box, got to bend up a little bit, but that's alright, is this welcome banner. It's a stylized Victorian house block. Ribbons and bows for your fireplace. Just fun little easy projects to look at. Double bow tie runner. I mean, this is pretty cool looking, and it doesn't look too difficult. Wooden spool and needle folio. Tuck a few pre-cut patches in this handy little case, and you're ready to sew on the go. Yeah, it's simple because it just has, and then, so these are by Basics and Beyond Home, Heart and Home, Delights, Katie, oh, they're different, Jody G. Warner, Katie Lanimaker, Betty Alderman. So see, now all this stuff can be put away, and my delayed unboxings and my gratitude for the 2 people that have blessed me so deeply. I really appreciate it. It's unexpected. And see, this reminds me of the singing roosters I got in Tryon, North Carolina, the first week in September. I needed a restroom real bad, and I was going up Skytop Orchard, and I was going the back way because I didn't want to do I-26 like I'd done the night before to go down to Spartanburg, South Carolina. And I saw this big building, and it said Vendor Mall, and it said Fabric. And I thought, well, that's a good place to find a restroom. And they had one. I didn't have a lot of time, but when I came out, the booth right across was Christmas, and I checked it out, and I got a couple things I got hanging up there. And my sister got some snow babies. And then I went over to the other building because I didn't realize they have 500 vendors in this mall. And I found the fabric on the other end in Building A, and it was all vintage prints. And there was a print, yes, Lynn, I did, and I'm just blown away at people's generosity and love and caring. And I'm very, very grateful. I know that it's a blessing, and I'm very, very thankful. But anyway, this booth had mainly out-of-print fabrics or vintage fabrics. And so, when I walked in there, the first thing I saw was an out-of-print Dr. Seuss "Oh, the Places We Will Go" fabric. And I've been looking for a piece of that for almost 3 years, maybe a tad longer. And then I saw some Singing Roosters by Bernitex, which had to be out of print. And then I found a Debbie Mom Noah's Ark, and it's really cool because it has Noah, and he has an umbrella, and he has different animals either tucked in around him, or a giraffe looking over the umbrella or around the umbrella. So good night, Mitzi. Thank you for stopping by and for hanging out. I've been on for a little over an hour. I probably should let you guys go. I'll need to work on some tutorials, but I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'm surprised so many people popped in. I actually had 20 at one point. And I think I'm going to close it up here, but I'm just going to say, in any situation, there's a he said and a she said and the truth in the middle. So if you hear one side of a story, then you need to go to the other side and hear the other side of the story, or at least think about and pray about that perspective. And something I realized about 7-8 months ago is when the Bible says, if you have an offense with your brother, go to your brother and try and work it out privately. Go to your brother. And if that doesn't work, go back. If that doesn't work, go back. And it's like 3 or 4 times you're supposed to go back and try and sort it out, because there's at least 50% of the time somebody doesn't know they've done something to offend you, or There's 25% of the time at least where the offense is something out of your wounding or your own perspective or grid and not really grounded in reality. And then there's true offense. But I realized on a deeper level that if you're sharing an offense that you haven't tried to work out and the person hasn't known what they've done, especially when it flips in a 12-hour period, then you're having somebody take on an offense that was never theirs to begin with. So they have no way to resolve it. It just brings division. And when you've had 100 opportunities to do it in private, and instead you drag it out over a 3 or 4 day period with clickbait titles that people are going to ask, and then you hurt people, you know somebody's been through a lot of injustice and has opened up and cares. I mean, if I didn't care about the person, that would be different. But, when I knew that that's what they wanted, after being on a video for 50 minutes off and on, all of a sudden I was supposed to read minds. That tells you something right there. Because if they were really that upset and it was my fault, and I wasn't just being singled out because they're going through something, they would have said it the minute I said hello to somebody in the group. Not to them, just kind of hanging low. Not 50 minutes in. And they have my phone number. So they could have easily just texted me. They could have easily just blocked me. And what happened today, that was totally uncalled for. Because now that's put a burden on another content creator, and I'm going to force you to choose. Well, that's not right either. That's not respect. Yeah, you can do whatever you want on your channel, but when you're sowing division to throw a pity party or a tantrum or whatever, come to me. You have a problem with me. You don't like me. You don't like something I said. You're a friend and you're fine when you go to bed on Wednesday night and everything's hunky-dory and you hate me in the morning, come to me. Because there are things that you said that were very, very deeply painful to me and deeply painful to other people. And you invoked people's names and said that they agreed with you and everything like that and that they had talked to you. You were projecting. You were projecting. So, do what you want on your channel, but think about the wreckage you're leaving behind, the collateral damage. And if you want to side with somebody, but just try and remember that God says not to do this because of this very thing. Because it's divisive, and you're ending up carrying an offense that may not even be a real offense or true offense. It may be in their head. It may be partially true. It may be totally true, but you're carrying an offense that you can't settle because it's never been your offense to begin with. It never belonged to you. It belonged between two people. And I have no idea what happened. I have no idea. And I don't know what I said or what happened between going off alive Wednesday night late and everything seemed fine and everything was normal to Thursday morning when there was the first little hint that there was trouble, and I gave grace that that person was having a bad day, and I texted an apology, said I don't know what I did. I was doing the same thing as everybody, the other 10 people in the room, and offering sympathy, offering empathy, and hoping that you were asking if you needed anything and just that kind of thing, and you picked me out of the group. You could block me then, but you wanted to get your kicks or something. You 50 minutes in yesterday, you're like, nope, I'm going to do this privately, but you set it up to make sure you could do it publicly, and you could do it as mean and spiteful and hateful as possible, and 80% of it wasn't true. And then today you hurt somebody else with the same kind of clickbait idea, because it's your personal decision if you don't want to comment on somebody else's channel. That's your decision. Don't put that on anybody else. Don't say that's because somebody else has done something, because you haven't even tried to work it out or tell them what's wrong. That's your decision. That's on your head. And I'm sorry, I could be wrong, but I think it's wrong to do that. I think it's wrong to hurt people like that. Forget about me. I will work through it. God will show me how to let go, how to forgive, how to find acceptance, how to deal with the consequences. But you drag somebody in that didn't deserve it and put her in the middle of your drama and whatever's going on in your head. And it really wouldn't matter so much to me if I didn't care. You know, I make mistakes and I'm in my journey. And I'm self-correcting, and I think I'm pretty teachable because I know I'm a mess. And I know I'm still growing because I really didn't have a childhood. And I have a weird personality, rare personality. But the thing is just be careful that you don't end up picking out somebody else's offense because you can't resolve it because it was never yours in the first place. That's all I'm going to say. And I don't think we realize that. I don't think how often we're told something. Oh, somebody did this and they hurt me. Well, have you gone and talked to them? Did they even know what they know? But I'm going to, and I'm going to use this excuse and use that. When somebody tells me I'm going to tell you the truth in love, or I'm just going to say it like it is because nobody else has the balls to do it, or is brave enough, then I know to duck and cover, because I know that somewhere around 80% of it's going to be your own stuff, because I've lived through it too many times. There's going to be a grain of truth in it, and whatever's in your craw, and whatever it is that set you off, and I have no idea, whatever's the real issue going on, whatever got stirred in you from something I said, maybe my talk on Wednesday, I don't know. But whatever that is, the real issue is it's covered with all this fluff. And if you had not had so many opportunities to do it privately and do it correctly, and not leave a bunch of damage in your wake to pound your chest and say, I know I'm right, that'd be different. Because as soon as you said, out, don't let the door hit your arse on the way out, what did I do? Okay, oh, okay, wow, not sure what happened, this is incredibly sad, I'm sorry, I'm leaving, you know where I am, and I went, and I unscribed and left. No fuss, no fight, no defense, nothing. So you can't use that either. And you can't use the fact that I texted you on Wednesday, because that was an apology because I didn't know what I'd done, and I felt bad if I offended you or upset you or whatever. So just check at the door what baggage somebody else is giving you to carry, and whether or not you really have the whole story, because there's always a he said, she said, or she said, or he said, and the truth in the middle. And, you know, for somebody that really doesn't want to have pity, they certainly have set them up to be the victim and the martyr and the victor by slinging dirt, by slander, and by creating a lot of deep pain and a lot of collateral damage, which that isn't even a good. But you know, I have some understanding too, because I know when people are wounded and when they've gone through tough times, they do crazy things. And like I said, if I didn't care, it wouldn't matter. And if you weren't hurting my friends and you weren't using them for BS, propaganda, it wouldn't matter. But dragging people into your own whatever and making yourself look innocent, no. So I know that the person will never hear this, but I know that there's friends on both sides, and it's not fair that anybody be torn between somebody having some nebulous offense suddenly, and we don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what triggered it or what happened in a 12-hour period. What was stewing or brewing? So anyway, well, it's just, you know, I'm sorry, but don't blame the fact that you've created a problem, you suddenly have a problem, and the way you're handling it is clickbait, and you've decided for your own reasons to not comment on another person's channel right now, but to watch it. That's your private decision. Don't say it's because this other person did something, because they don't even know what it is. You just sit there quietly and don't comment. And if somebody asks, well, where's Randy and why he's not commenting, then you go to them in private, because you got connections with people all over the place. There's Messenger, you've got text or whatever. And when somebody writes to apologize, if you're so pissed at them that you want them to never speak to you again and leave, either block them or send them a text message right then on Thursday and say, shut up and unsubscribe from my channel and go. You don't make a 3-day public spectacle or 2-day public spectacle. And, you know, when I asked my sister, I said, do you think I'm a leftist? And she started laughing, and she says, well, you are a leftist. Well, actually, there's only one thing leftist about you. And I was, I stared at her and I thought, and it took a couple minutes, and I thought, haha, yeah, I only have my left leg. So she was saying I'm a leftist. I'm not a lemming. You know, I may have very strong conservative moral beliefs. As a matter of fact, my Democrat grandmama did too. And those Democrats then are now defined as moderate conservatives. They are now Republicans, because the definition it's shifted. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not going to, because of my mind and the way I'm not going to ask questions if things don't set right. And I can't go, well, you know, I don't care if the people in the running for president or Congress have any character or morals at all. It doesn't matter to me. That's scary if you're not questioning. And in the end, here's the thing. I pray and I follow God's leads, and I know in the end that God raises up kings and God puts down kings, which means God allows certain leaders to be in office and certain leaders not to be in office. And sometimes He does that to discipline us, to bring out things. Sometimes He gives us what we're crying out for, even though He knows it's bad, because He knows that it has what that has potential to lead to. He did that with Saul when they twisted his arm. So, and I never said anything about the election. And I don't know where he got that I was a leftist, but I'm not. But I'm also not a lemming where I'm going to follow somebody blindly over a cliff. When I see things and I have questions, I'm going to ask them. And the office of the president is unique from the party, because the president, in a sense, whether or not they are Republican or Democrat, has to be both parties, because they are governing a whole country full of independents, Republicans, and Democrats. If the person going into office only is going to serve his party, we're in trouble. And that did happen. That did happen in the last time this person was in office, because there's records, and go look. He withheld aid from the opposing party when there was disasters and whatnot because they didn't vote for him. That's not what a president does. A president is different than a sole representative of their party coming to the table, because they represent a whole country, which is a mixed mash. And I was just raised differently. I won't tell you who I voted for. That's between me and God. Am I upset about the election? Not necessarily, because God's hand is in it. And that's what I believe and I stand on. And if it blows up, God's hand's in it. And if it turns out okay, God's hand is in it. And that's the end of that. So, and I appreciate, Lynn, that you didn't watch, because I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong because you want people to ask you so you can continue to puke all this BS. The person that you're saying is the center of it doesn't even know what they did to trigger it. And the other person you've dragged into the drama and are muckety-mucking that you say that you love and respect and have been friends for a long time, They don't know what happened. You know, I'm going to tell you something that I admire about a creator named Miss Rita. When something really, truly happened that was unjust and hurtful to her, she didn't make 2 or 3 lives with clickbait titles and blah, 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 and drag people into it, make them choose between the person that did the injustice that a lot of people knew about. She quietly blocked the person, and then sent the message, right now I'm hurt and I'm processing and working through, so no access. That was it. That was it. She never was like, oh, well, so and so, you're still talking to that person or allowing that person on your channel and having contact, so therefore I'm not going to comment in your lives, and I'm going to make your life part of this drama. No. She dealt with it like a mature adult would deal with it. So, praying for you, and I hope you sort it out. And I'm sorry that you're in the dark place that you're in, that you have to do something like this. And like I said, I expected backlash for being, I guess, authentic and doing what I feel like I need to do. Now, I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. Do I know a lot? Probably, because we didn't have iPads and TV and all that kind of stuff when I was in a full body cast for a year between my 15th and my 25th month. So I read. So what? I was two years old and I was doing 200-piece puzzles by myself, and I was reading full books. Why? Because that's what life left me with. If I had an iPad to play with, or an Atari, or lots of TV, it probably would have been a little different. Did I ask for near photographic memory? No. Did I ask to be curious? No. Did I ask to have a rare? No, I didn't get consulted. And I know that what has happened along the way, including what happened this past couple of days, was not God's heart and God's intent. But I know darn tootin' that God's going to use it. I do. I do. I don't know how. And I may never know. But I know God's going to use it. It's just sad and unnecessary. And it's sad that this person can't see the collateral damage and just out of pure selfishness. And I'm not going to get into details, but that's all I have to say about that. And anybody that doesn't like my opinion, I'm sorry about that too. But if you're taking up an offense that was never yours, and you don't even really know what the offense is because it's just nebulous, blah, 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 and some of it is downright lies. I blocked you yesterday, so you must have hacked YouTube to get back in. I don't hack. I was put in a timeout and said I need a little space. So when I was let out of timeout, I didn't confront the person directly, but I said hello to a couple people in chat, and I hung back to see if it was just having a bad day, and out of that needing somebody to smack and feel better. So, there's a lesson. Timeout is different than blocking, and I don't read minds. And I don't do well with hidden, passive-aggressive, subtle hints. But as soon as you ask me 50 minutes in, go, I respectfully left, and you can prove that. So what is all this other stuff? Unless you want to be a victim and a martyr, and you want to, out of jealousy or envy or whatever's going on in your life, you want to hurt people that care about you. But that's fine. So I'm done. Hi, Caitlin. I'm sorry I didn't say hello. I'm gonna go. It's been almost an hour and a half. I had great fun doing the unboxings. And I'll close with this. I'm trying to learn to not overshare. I'm trying to learn not to talk too much. But I can't be the only person called out in the room and the only person fighting and trying. And I can't, especially when other people in the room are doing greater violations to the rules or are doing similar things. To me, that's a double standard. But I doesn't mean that I'm not working on it, because I want to change. I want to grow. I want to become a better person. I want to be somebody who likes hanging out with, because I've never felt like people wanted to hang out with me. I've always been like the third wheel. So, every day I change and grow. I'm not the same person I was yesterday. I'm not the same person I'll be tomorrow. I'm definitely not the same person I was 3 months ago, let alone 6 months ago, a year ago, or 6 years ago. The last 6 years have been some of the hardest years of my adult life. And that's saying a lot. But there's been purpose in it. Those 9 encyclopedia sets that I have gathered with stories and stuff that have happened just in the last 6 years since 2018, there's a lot of hidden treasure and secret riches. And I know God better because of it, and I'm a better person because that's what suffering does. It squeezes the dark, the yucky stuff out. That's what the hard times do. And either you panic in fear or you reach out and trust. And it's not easy because I'm not a very emotional person, especially in front of people. But yesterday, yeah. So anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you guys for, man, it was fun doing an unboxing. It was fun having all those people in. Thank you for the likes and the comments. I hope you've had fun. I hope that you know. So, thank you, William, you too. Sometimes it's hard to be yourself when you've been told all your life there's something wrong with you, and it's something wrong with your world. So I'm working on it. Working on getting comfortable in my skin. But thank you, Mary, Lynn, Caitlin, Michelle, Mitzi. I think Mitzi went to bed, but I just really appreciate it. William, I appreciate you coming by. Sometime soon we'll do some cutting up and maybe I'll try and work on a project and get distracted. And I'll get past some of this foo-fra distraction of having to say something. I don't know. I love you too, Lynn. You guys have changed my life for the better. And for that, I'm grateful. For that, I'm very, very grateful. So you guys have a blessed night. Anybody who sees this, if I published it, you enjoy. Thank you to both people who blessed me with the surprises and the love. So, night, Mary. Maybe I'll end up coming on at 2 o'clock too. You never know, because I don't know if this is going to be a sleep night between my hip and my head and stuff. Never know, but thank you. You have a blessed night and day tomorrow. Tune in, all y'all. I'm going to take my quirky character and go get some meds and stuff. Love you guys. Thank you. Oh, I gotta find the out button. This is the out button.